Okay. Hi. So this is really weird for me. This is really awkward. But while I still have my nerve, I decided to come on here. So hey, again, it's me, it's Coco. Um yeah. I I was just like, what is it called? I was just journaling because I follow this Instagrammer, the Queen Poe, and she does, like, she'll tell you like the moon, the full moon, or like the new moon, what's happening and what like emotions that could be tied to and all that, right? But she always gives journal prompts, and I've been using the journal prompts, and so I am watching YouTube and going over these journal prompts, and it, like, I don't know, this is so weird, but why is it so weird for me? Um, I don't have an editing software, so all that has to stay in. Anyway, so the journal prompts, the questions were, it's about like spirituality and the universe, what all that means to you. And um, one of the questions was, what does God mean to you? How do you think the universe works? And do you believe in free will? Do you believe in destiny or fate? And what is the relationship between free will and destiny, right? And there's other ones, but the ones that just made me want to come on here for some reason is the, how do I think the universe works, and do I believe in free will or destiny or fate, and like the difference between the two. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, right? And I think, one, you have to like remember duality, and you have to remember balance and all of that. I hope you can hear me. Pretty much, what is it called? So I kind of want to have a discussion of sorts. This is just me talking about what I feel, so let me know what you feel in the comments, or if you agree, or like what your thought process is. So my thought process is that the universe operates off of decisiveness, and part of that comes from like thinking about manifestation, and I think it's called animism, and just the law of attraction and all of that, that like people tend to discuss and, you know, want and everything. So I think it operates off of decisiveness, and I do think like everything has its own energy, um, down to like, you know, rocks in the dirt type deal. Like everything has its own energy, right? But I think our energy works in tandem with our consciousness. So that's where decisiveness comes in. And I think it comes down to like the saying, so how you think you are type deal. Like if you believe it, so you are. Pretty much how people say you can manifest anything you want, because truly your brain cannot think of an impossibility, is a concept that was presented to me recently. And because of that, anything you think of can be accomplished, right? To some degree. How that happens and all that is pretty much into your, depending on your brain and you. And pretty much, what is it? I said, if you believe it, so you are, and your decision is deeper than what you say. So if I say that, I don't know, I'm a best-selling author, I'm a multimillionaire, I'm extremely lucky, I win the jackpot multiple times. It's easy for me. Money comes to me easily. My life is great. I have my own home, my own land, all of that, right? And you're like thinking about it in a manifestation point, or say you want something in your life really badly and that's not what it is, or you want to be a happier person, or all of that. I think that the belief and your decisiveness in it is what determines whether or not that thing is true and it happens. I hope I am making sense right now. So I think the universe acts in truth, and because it acts in truth and only truth, a lot of times the decision is deep within you. It's not what you say, it's your actions, and it is how you join what you want with what you believe, right? And I think with that, free will is your decision to follow your destiny. But your destiny is truly just your goals and the universe working to make the desires of your heart manifest into reality. So your destiny is influenced by your free will. And in turn, your free will can change your destiny. That is the current thought I am having right now. So the difference between the two is really just timing. The time you have to change your mind before the universe already makes the thing yours or happen, right? And so, because your destiny is determined by your free will, I pretty much was like, I believe in free will, but I also believe in destiny and fate. But I think sometimes we think of destiny as being like a set thing that's unchanging, right? But as I'm sitting here thinking about like how I think the universe works, right? I believe the universe works in truth, and therefore you can change your destiny simply by being able to change what you actually believe. Like, it requires honesty with oneself. And somehow, to me, that all ties into manifestation, because it ties into energy, and all that energy also ties into balance, because I do believe every action has an opposite reaction, and everything you do, good or bad, is going to have another option, good or bad. And balance is super important in all of that. So I think the universe, because it operates in truth, part of your free will is what keeps it balanced. So let's say, oh, I wish somebody was here so I could talk to them, because like, I don't know why, that just felt like my destiny is determined by my free will. So the actions and decisions I make and the things I believe determine my destiny, right? It's almost like, I think the term's manifest destiny. I could be wrong. But also like naming conventions in different cultures. Like what you name your child can determine their future, right? But there are also cultures who think you can change your name to change your destiny if your name was like, bad or whatever. So I think to some degree destiny can change, but it's based off things you desired early on. Like, you're always influencing your own personal destiny and you don't even know it, right? So I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. I'm kind of nervous. This is different, and I don't normally share like my thoughts like that out loud like this. So um, I'm sitting here, and one of the questions was like, what is good to you, what is bad to you, and what makes a good person? And I'm having a hard time with that one, and how to sit with it, because she says sit with the questions and really think on the questions, and I'm really trying to like get myself together inwardly, but I'm also trying to figure out what I want in life, what I want to do, how I want to do the things I want to do, what's possible, all of that. And so I'm taking these journal prompts really seriously. So thinking about it, if the universe operates off of decisiveness and truth, but it also operates off of balance, my question is, how does it really operate off of balance? Because given my experiences and things I see in life, I'm not 100% sure, but it could still be operating off balance. So how does your decision and what you want, if that influences your destiny, and say you want a good outcome for your destiny, what would be the balance for all the good that came out of what you get in the end? And how long of what you got in the end is what you wanted, and what did you want truly? I think it's kind of like, I think one time I was reading a book about pretty much choosing a job and being lost in it and not knowing what I wanted in life. And the person, I wish I could remember what it was, what I was reading, but it pretty much was like, if you had to eat a shit sandwich every day, what would be on it? What are things that you'd rather deal with over others, to kind of like figure out what you wanted to do with your life. And I'm just thinking about all of that, and I'm thinking about my desire to win the lottery. I'm thinking about my desire to have my own home. I'm thinking about my desire to have land and acquire it and live comfortably and feel my sense of freedom. That reminds me of watching Sinners, which is a whole nother thing. But thinking about all of that and thinking about how the universe works, do you think, or do you believe that the universe works that way? Or how do you think the universe works? Because I think the universe, it is a lot of energy, right? And I think, like, thinking about what God means to me, in theory, God is always creating. So I think of it in a more polytheistic way sometimes. I'm still working the kinks out, but how do you think the universe operates? And do you believe in free will or destiny or fate? Because I believe the universe definitely operates off of decisiveness and truth. That is the only thing I feel almost certain of, just thinking about things I've witnessed in life. That one of the few things that you can like depend on is change, right? If I can always depend on change, in theory, destiny has to change. But a lot of people think of destiny as something that is solidified. It always was, will always be that way. But what if it's not? What if you have the opportunity to change your destiny by changing you or your thought process? Or just like, sometimes you look at a situation and you go, that could have been me, or I could have done this. What if we really did put more weight in the decisions that we made every day? And if the universe operates off of truth, you can't trick it into thinking you want XYZ thing, because you know what you want and your actions will speak to what you want. And sometimes we do go against ourselves and fight ourselves. Why we do that, I don't know. I don't know. That's just my current thought right now. I'm just sitting here like, if it depends on decisions, you have to make your decisions, but you can change your free will. But what would be the purpose of that? Why does the universe work that way? And I also think everything has energy. So like, I really like stuffed animals, and I think everything has energy, and more energy can be put onto it. It's kind of like the concept of cursed objects. Like, the energy is feeding into it, and that can be anything. So everything we do and how we move with our energy and our decisions and our beliefs, it influences the destiny of ourselves, and it can also influence the destiny of others, which makes me think about how can the destiny, or the free will of other people affects our free will. So while free will, I believe, is a thing, the actions you take affect other people. So that's kind of like the butterfly effect, right? All these random concepts are like connecting in my head. So what does that mean for me? Why am I don't know. Maybe I just want to talk about it, theorize for a little bit. I was working on the journal prompt, and I'm just sitting here like, say the universe is always working in your favor, but sometimes you're not working in your favor, and that is why things happen that you don't want. Because most of us don't ever deal with what's happening underneath the face value of what we say and do every day. But if we put more stake in our decisions every day, how you get up and you decide to take a walk that morning, or you don't take the walk that morning, you drink your water, you do your tea, you do your yoga or whatever, like how a stubbed toe can affect a full day. Something about the universe, I think, pushes you to a specific destiny, but any given time you can get off the path. So unlike a roller coaster where you're strapped in, and once you get on the roller coaster, you're in for the ride, I believe that sometimes you can make the choice to get off. Therefore, it's not like a roller coaster. It's more like a walking path or a hiking trail or something that's a little more, there's multiple twists and turns, but you choose how far to go down any particular given path. So like me pursuing my desires right now and wanting to manifest them into reality, I have to understand some of my limits, which are things that I believe are possible for me and things that I don't believe are possible for me, and how to rectify that to be a truth. I don't know, I'm really stuck on this truth part. The truth and decisiveness. Your free will is just you doing whatever you want. Any decision you make is your free will. And you have people who can take your free will from you. But that action does come with consequences and reactions. And we're not supposed to mess with each other's free will, right? Or not mess with each other's free will directly, but we're technically messing with each other indirectly all the time, just by existing every decision we make. I don't know. How does the universe work? I'm just thinking about it, and like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Give me some feedback. I don't know. I like conversations like this, and currently, everybody I know is busy, so I figured why not talk here and see if I could get some of this out. But I find myself stuck and repeating the same thing, which is something I tend to do without a feedback, feedback loop. So I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you if you stayed for 20 minutes to listen to me try to work through that. I'm gonna keep thinking about it because the universe works in truth. Yep, that is interesting. Sorry if the clicking was annoying. But yeah, tell me if you believe in free will or destiny and how you think the universe works. Yeah, and what you think the relationship between free will and destiny is. And yeah, leave a comment, share, like, all that good stuff or whatever. And I'm gonna go back to watching YouTube and thinking about these questions. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that you want good things for the universe and yourself, and that your free will is not being impeded. Yeah, so good energy, good vibes, and